Hi there. Thank you for joining me today in my garden. So today I wanted to do a walkabout of my gardens in Toronto, Zone 6 in early August. In this part sun garden bed, I have a lot of my favorite hydrangeas. In the front of this garden bed, I have a mix of Let's Dance Skyview and Ariba hydrangeas with some Queen of Heart Brunnera, Tater Tart Arbs, and some Carex, as well as some Heucheras. In the corner of this garden bed, I have a flowerful hydrangea. In the middle of this bed, I have a few wee white hydrangeas, and in the back, I have two Gatsby Gal oak leaf hydrangeas, as well as a couple of petite emerald arbs. They're supposed to be 6 feet tall and about 2 to 3 feet wide. We had a really bad thunderstorm yesterday, and I noticed that there's a broken limb on my Limelight Standard. This poor tree, it was damaged when I had my roof done about 4 to 5 years ago, and I moved it to my backyard for it to rehab, and it really started to look good. But as you can see here, there's a huge branch that's been broken off. And here's a look at that branch once I got it cut out of the tree. And this is how the tree looks now. So in the spring, I'll give it a good prune, and I'm sure that the limelight will be fine. Here's a look at a few of my planters that have been doing really well throughout the heat of the summer. I think maybe what I'll do is do a tour of some of my planters so I can give more details of what plants I've used in all of them. On this side of my patio, all of my perennials and hydrangeas have been really doing well in the heat, especially in early August. Even the Incredible is looking really good. This little lime hydrangea always looks so beautiful this time of the season. Now in my Arbor garden bed, I did a little bit of a refresh. Earlier in the summer, I had purchased some degroote arbs to add in to this garden bed to finish off the design. So I added those in, and I also removed my annuals I had in my planter and replaced it with some little limes. Here's a look at the left side of that garden bed, and it has the degroote arb planted as well as the little lime in the planter. Look at how much the panicles of the little lime punch have started to turn that beautiful pink color. In the front of this garden bed, I have some Helen von Steen lamb's ears, as well as some carex and bundle of joy sedum. Here's a look at the diamond rouge hydrangea. From week to week, it just gets so much more of that beautiful pink color. I also see that there's a white balloon flower that's in bloom, and there's still some flowers on the white ones Veronica. Now here's a look at my favorite hydrangea this week. Well, it's a tie between this Pinky Winky and the Little Lime Punch, but I'm loving how beautiful these panicles are looking on this hydrangea. Now this bouncy hydrangea, it is new, and I've noticed that there's a lot of burn on the panicles, but I think it'll be fine for next season. And this is one of my only 2 Cosmo plants that made it through that I planted this season. I have a lot of squirrel activity in my garden. In my hydrangea rehab corner, my quickfire fab is really doing great this summer. I'm so happy to see that it's filling out more and has so many blooms this season. Below it is milkshake coneflowers, and I also have a black and black sedum. This garden bed is usually for all of my cut flowers. I only have my caramel rudbeckia that made it through the spring with all of the activity from the bunnies and the squirrels. This side of my hillside garden bed is still a work in progress. I am happy to see how well the cookies and cream hibiscus is doing. I planted this last year and has had quite a few blooms already. Now I've stuck to a lot of sedums, coneflowers, white ones Veronica, stokasters. I also have 2 white calaminthas in this garden bed, and so far that's been working. I've added some oak leaf hydrangeas as well because they also do well in more of a drier soil. This is a Proven Winners Etched Glass hosta. It's really one of my favorite hostas this season. And in front of it, I have planted 2 dressed up prom dress heucheras. I was so happy to find that in my garden center this spring. I really hope it overwinters well. This shade garden bed has been going through a bit of changes this summer, and I'm just happy to see how things are holding up. I know I'm going to be making some more shifts and changes, but I really like how the firelight tibbets are looking, as well as the beautiful Let's Dance Lovable. Like I said in my last video, I really like the fact that it's reblooming, and it's just beautiful to see like a constant reblooming of this hydrangea. And here's a Tough Stuff original hydrangea, as well as another look at my little lime. So thanks for joining me today in a walk around my garden beds. Let me know in the comments how your garden beds are doing. So thanks again, and hope to see you next time. Bye.